In this video, I'm gonna give you an update on Asheville, North Carolina after Helene hit our mountain. First and foremost, I wanna say big thank you to everyone who reached out, who made a lot of very positive, supportive comments in my previous video. The amount of support and people wanting to donate was just overwhelming. Second, yes, I'm focusing on Asheville, North Carolina, because A, that's where I live. B, this is where I can move around safely without clogging up first responders and other people who are working on mitigating the damage done to roads, infrastructure, properties, businesses, towns, the whole neighborhoods. And there's been a lot of, misunderstanding, misinformation, just confusion about what's going on, what the aftermath is. So in this video, I'm gonna give you all these details about Asheville, North Carolina. So it's been almost 2 weeks after Helene hit our town, our region. By the time this video is going to come out, it's probably going to be more, but I doubt a lot of things will change about the situation. And so here we go. Right now I am in South Asheville in my neighborhood. A lot of people were asking me if Asheville is even standing. Is everything wiped out? Are schools even there? Are you even alive? Thank God we are alive, we are safe. And I would say that, there were people in Asheville who had really no damage. They were really not that affected by any kind of damages caused by Helene. They didn't lose power, or they lost power for just a few hours. They never really lost water. I mean, everyone lost cell service. Some people, like us, were affected a little more because we lost water, power, cell service, internet for a few days. We just got water back this morning. It started trickling, so thank God for that, because it was just getting old to figure out how we're gonna wash dishes and mainly flush our toilets. We got our hand washing station right here, collecting water to use it to flush the toilets. Then kitchen is next door. Thank God we have that. And then all the necessities are pretty much in the same place. Look. TMI? Yeah, I know. But we, my family, all of our friends, all of our clients, past and present, we did not lose anybody that we personally know, thank God. I know there's a lot of loss, but nobody that I know personally. And then, of course, there are a ton of people in the area and people who I know who lost properties, who lost businesses. We are the most fortunate ones. We are the luckiest ones because we're alive, we're safe. We didn't have really any damage to our property. I'm not gonna try to answer everyone's questions about everything from, what happened, how it could have happened, and stuff like that. But for now, I will say that from what I heard, and then just to give you a perspective, okay? Katrina was a 400-year event. So once every 400-year event. Helene here in the mountains was 1 in 1,000 year event. Unfortunately, a lot of areas in our county got evacuation order too late. It came in too late, and by then people just didn't have a choice. They could not evacuate. They could only seek higher ground if possible. And of course, as we know, a lot of people lost everything, including their lives, when the tragedy hit. With that, most of the devastation, mainly by flash flood and by just rivers swelling up, happened along two major rivers that we have here in Asheville, French Broad River and Swannanoa River. French Broad River is a big river. It goes through town. It's a big river, a recreational place for a lot of locals and tourists. Swannanoa River is not even that big. It could not withstand the amount of water that hit it and run off from all the mountains. And despite a lot of influencers and a lot of TikTokers, a lot of just people who are not even here, Asheville is standing. Asheville is okay, I would say. Most of Asheville itself is fine. I mean, I'm in South Asheville. This is Forest Lake neighborhood that I made a video about just a few weeks ago. We had some fallen trees. I think that only one house got damaged, and you can see it right here. And it's not even, I don't think the house itself got hit by a tree, but a garage, and that's it. That's it. That happened in our little neighborhood. A lot of neighborhoods in South Asheville are in the same shoes. So this is Sweeten Creek Road right behind me. Like I said, it was completely blocked off. You couldn't even drive on it for a few days right after the storm because of all the downed trees. It was completely impossible. It was dangerous to drive on it because of not only downed trees but power lines. And that was the story with pretty much all, especially smaller roads that are only like 2-lane. Everything else, properties got damaged maybe by fallen trees, but in South Asheville, for the most part, it's fine. If you know me, if you've been following me for a while, and I know there's a lot of new subscribers on this channel, I'm not here to bullshit anybody. I'm here to tell it how it is, what I see from my perspective, what I see with my own eyes. This is what I'm here for. Now I'm moving towards Biltmore Village, and that area, like I said in my first video about the hurricane, got hit the hardest. It's one of the areas in the whole Asheville that was just basically destroyed. It is mostly retail, commercial space. It's a historic area in Asheville, right next to Biltmore Estate, and it got hit so bad. My doctor's office, where I was getting my vitamins the day before, in my previous video I think I showed you, is right there in that building, and it was completely underwater the next day too. I'm gonna get up with my drone and show you what Biltmore Village looks like right now. It's just sad. Up above from Biltmore Village, just up the street where I had to take a detour. I mean, just some fallen trees, but everything is standing, everything is fine. And when I say fine, everyone, when I say we're safe, but we're not okay. Most people, I would say, traumatized from what has happened. It's hard to see and watch a lot of places get completely destroyed. Some landmarks, parks, like River Art District, Biltmore Village. Of course, some of them will rebuild, but... So all this was flooded. Where I'm driving right now, all this was flooded. Now, they're cleaning up, and you see this a lot in Asheville itself. Everything just covered with a bunch of dirt and dust. This was not here, obviously. A lot of roads got washed away. Look at this. This is like somebody put everything in a blender. This car is still here. It was all this was completely underwater up until its roof. This little Ash Pantry convenience store was underwater up until its roof. Look at this. So you hear me talk a lot about our team. If you're new here, we work as a team here in Asheville. And Dan Castillo is one of the agents on our team, and I came to see him here in North Asheville. I'm making a video about updating basically everyone on what's going on in Asheville. A couple of weeks after the hurricane Helene came to visit. A lot of people think that Asheville is completely wiped out. So you are in North Asheville. What are you seeing here? What's the situation? Is it wiped out? Like what? Give us an update.
Yeah, so we definitely got hit here in the North Asheville, but we're fortunate. We didn't have to deal with any flooding over here. Mm-hmm. We're at a good elevation where the water was just more of just running down. Trees were the biggest thing that we were affected by.
Yeah, I mean, we live in such a wooded area. There's so many trees around, so many mature trees, specifically here in North Asheville, because it's like such a established part of town. Tons of trees and tons of very mature trees that are down on houses. But, I mean, we're walking the streets of North Asheville right now, one street. And as you can see, it's standing. So, and I'm here not just to give you an update, but kind of fight sensationalism.
Yeah.
Because right now, a lot of people just want to tell you that, you know, everything is doom and gloom. And a lot of parts of Western North Carolina, of North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, they are like that. There are some parts like that, don't get me wrong. I don't want to, play it down, but Asheville is standing.
It is. The River Arts and Biltmore Village, which were very industrial areas, those were the areas that were affected by water the most. Thankfully, we got lucky here in Asheville that homes were, yes, affected by flooding, but not like they were in other areas. So a lot of the rebuilding that's going to be happening here are more so business districts, industrial areas, the such. So we are very fortunate in that regard. For people that are afraid of potentially moving here or have been having the ambition of moving here, it's not an uninhabitable place. It's just a place that's going to need a lot of community love. We are going to have to rally together, and we are going to have to rebuild this place that we love so much.
You know, when people think about hurricanes and natural disasters like that, they associate that with areas like, maybe flatland, right? And here, nothing is like it is in where, it's flat. So when hurricane came, when flooding came, it wasn't like a blanket, like in Florida, everything is covered, right, with water. It wasn't like that here at all. Some areas, like I'm looking around, all this, and I'll show you some more footage. It looks like nothing even happened.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. Again, the communities rally together a lot. We may not be able to hear it right now, but all throughout the day, there's chainsaws going on. There's trees that are being, mulched down, chopped down. Part of we've got so many areas that there are these old historic neighborhoods. The power lines and the trees, they've kind of lived together for a while. And so that ended up being a bit of a problem, but again, considering the amount of devastation that has happened all throughout Western North Carolina, we and so many of the neighborhoods have gotten very lucky.
Very fortunate.
If we take a look at downtown, and we can see from here, we have downtown behind us.
It's kind of hard to see.
May or may not be able to see, but we've got a clear road.
Yeah.
All the way into town.
Do you guys have water here?
We do not have water.
So no water still. That's a big thing. I would say, if not most, at least half of Asheville. Some other parts got water already and electricity. But North Asheville, we just got water today. Actually, it started trickling. It's not going to be safe water to drink anytime soon. But listen, at least we got water to flush our toilets, and that's a big win. We don't have to go outside to the outhouse. There are some certain neighborhoods that were closer to the river, like Botany Woods in East Asheville. I heard there are 10 houses that were washed away into the river because it's right on the river. Of course, that happened. But overall, Asheville, I mean, it's fine and not fine, right?
We're not as displaced as some of the other areas
Right.
that were.
Physically, we're fine.
Yeah.
Emotionally, it's hard to watch and hear from other people in the neighboring counties, just outside of Asheville, to still struggle and having lose everything. So by no means we want to downplay, but I just want to also show that Asheville is still standing. We're alive, we're fine. Schools out indefinitely because of water, not because they were damaged. Some private schools, I heard Asheville Christian Academy got significant damage, but other schools are okay, and they're actually serving as a distribution centers for and supply drop-offs. These days, every time you see somebody you know, you're giving them a hug and you're like, I'm glad that everything okay. No water, no electricity, that's such a minor inconvenience compared to what other areas and people in other parts of North Carolina, other states are dealing with right now. Despite such big tragedy and horrible things that have been happening all around us, this event really brought community together. Me checking on all of our clients, and a lot of our clients were telling me that, they're okay, whatever. And a lot of them were saying how they finally met all of their neighbors and how their neighbors are the ones who are stepping in, helping each other, whether it's, sharing generators or bringing water, portable water at first, and then water to flush the toilets. And I'm sure you're seeing the same thing. Like, the community here is just amazing, and that's what we've been really fortunate to have here as well.
Yeah, it really has been. All the neighbors are looking out for each other. I'm fortunate some of my neighbors have a little stream, a little creek running through their property. They've put out buckets with a sign for people to come and use. The church just down the road, they've been taking in donations. Other people have been helping coordinate. They've been getting semi-trucks of donations coming in, and they're obviously trying to get them out as quickly as they come in. I've been flooded with phone calls. People are coming in to help. We always talk about how the community in Asheville is one of the things that we really enjoy and appreciate the most. That's really been coming through here. If anything, one of the comments that I've been hearing is that the community outreach is everything we wish we would have seen during the COVID times, right? There's all of the love. Nobody is pointing fingers at each other around here for anything. If not, it's just everybody's like, how can I help you? Taking their shirt off their back. Whether it's handing out food, helping deliver water, or just giving support or any level of instruction. Yeah,
no matter who you vote for or what your preferences are, what color you are, whatever you are, whoever you are, people like this really brought people together. And that's what makes me, and then that's what I hear from a lot of the other people too, that kind of brought faith back in humanity. Unfortunately, it happened during such circumstances, but, that just shows you. Oh, there's still not even traffic lights. Okay, I'm gonna let them go by. So this is the road from Biltmore Village up to River Art District and some other areas. It's all underwater. Again, this is the worst. This is the worst. And of course, we did have some neighborhoods that got a lot of damage, but they're standing. So this is the entrance to Biltmore Estate right here. Oh gosh. I don't even recognize this place anymore. Look, seriously. Oh wow. Damn. I think the water came up onto this bridge up to like here somewhere. And so this is the worst. And this is River Art District where all of this was underwater. Tons of galleries, tons of artists, businesses, coffee shop. Oh my God. Wow, it's all gone. Damn. So that's what I'm talking about. We are okay and we're safe, but at the same time, we're not okay. Of course, this all here is from such close proximity to French Broad River. It's right here. It's kind of hard to see it from the road, but it's right there. And all this here was the river. This is the first time I came to downtown Asheville. I mean, I've only seen things about it from other people's posts on social media, but it was pretty much untouched as well, just maybe a few fallen trees. It really became a center for those businesses that, you know, survived, didn't have damage. They opened up their doors and they were feeding, and I guess still are feeding people the best they could. A lot of those restaurants, local restaurants here, a lot of places where people could donate items so that they could then be distributed to those in need. That's what downtown became. And in the next videos, I want to bring you attention to some of those other areas that were not as fortunate as Asheville proper itself. Although, again, not to downplay, there were deaths, there was destruction in Asheville as well, just not as much. And I know it's not the best time to compare the losses and compare the damage. I'm just saying what's going on, okay? Stop. Do not even go there and read between the lines with me. Stop this bullshit. A lot of houses that did go down, that were destroyed, were basically swallowed by rivers and those creeks and streams that just went so much up that where the houses were standing, they became, you know, part of the river or part of the creek or stream. Or there was a major mudslide and they just went down. But a lot of these houses that are on top of the mountains, on the side of the mountains, are standing there fine. And I'm going to make a video about it with one of our local builders, and talk about what it means building in the mountains before and after hurricane, now that we know what we know. All right, gotta go. We gotta go and pick up my daughter from her daycare. Her daycare opened up today for the first day, and that's another testimony about how well Asheville is doing compared to other areas, other parts of not just Western North Carolina, but North Carolina and other states. Really fortunate to be alive, to be safe. We will pull through this, and what I'm asking everyone to do is send good vibes. In the best Asheville tradition, send good vibes. We do not need pity. We need strong, good energy sent our way. Till next time.